Seriously, some of you tenants are actually funny. You packed out of an apartment and you're still with the landlord's key. What are you doing with the keys? You packed out of an apartment and you're still with his keys. What are you doing with the keys? Listen, draw yourself closer to this video and watch to the end. I don't want you to skip any part of this video. If you are living in a house and your rent expires, or your rent is about to expire, or you decide to leave before your rent expires, immediately you are about leaving that apartment, please do this. Hand over the keys to the landlord. If you hand over the keys to the landlord now has access to his apartment. He can re-rent the apartment. If your rent is still running, you can have an agreement with your landlord for him to re-rent the apartment and then give you the money. But if you're still with the keys, it means the apartment is still under your care. If your rent is if you still have outstanding rent, even though you have packed out, the landlord cannot re-rent the house because you've locked the apartment, did not grant him access. And secondly, if your rent has expired and you lock the apartment without granting your landlord access, you hold on to the keys, you make sure you use padlock and lock the apartment very well. The landlord cannot rent the apartment. For those times which income was lost, you will pay for it. Even when you packed out, you weren't owing. But because you locked the apartment, the landlord wasn't able to re-rent that apartment immediately you left. You stayed for 2, 3, 4, 5 months. This month, you are supposed to hand over the keys to the landlord so that he will rent the apartment. You did not do that, even though your rent has expired. The law says for those times in which those doors were locked, for those times in which that apartment was locked, you are going to pay rent for those times, those months the apartment was locked before it was finally opened. So if your rent has expired and you're packing out, please give the landlord access to his apartment so that he will rent immediately. If your rent is outstanding and you intend to pack out, please give the landlord keys so that he will re-rent and give you back your balance. If you did not do that, some of you will just say, I want to punish this landlord, let him go to court. Do you know that if the landlord goes to court and tell court that you're owing him for so number of time, even when he knew that you have packed out earlier, but he told court that you're owing him because you locked the apartment and refused to grant him access, you can still pay for those times those apartments were locked. You think you can run, you cannot run away, because whichever place you are, the landlord will still trace you and then use belief of court to execute the judgment of court. They can